How's it going? It's TF Vaping. That fucking light is shining right there. Let me block it with my big ass head. Oh, there we go. Anyway, what I was going to talk to you about today is a RDA that I picked up at a local shop Saturday or Friday. But I usually don't buy much from local shops because I know where they get it, and most of the time it's not authentic, but you pay authentic prices. See, $36.99. It's the Cera RDA. It is full ceramic. I had to get it simply because it was ceramic. I mainly wanted the top cap because I figured that it would fit on many of my other RDAs because it has 10 holes at the top for airflow. You can maybe see the light glistening off of it. And I thought that would be great on any other deck that I have. But to no avail. It hasn't fit on anything else that I've tried to put it on. It came with a pre-made Clapton in it. And I was like, well, that's kind of nice. But first time I hit it, didn't have my pliers on me. Went ahead and ramped it up to about 70 watts. Dry hits, fucking awesome. Hot legs, so hard. So I tore that out. I could not have got it out any faster than what I did. So anyway, here's your box. The Cera RDA. Nice fancy flap. I've already got it on my atomizer so I can take the cap off of it. Comes with replacement O-rings and this screw. This is one of the things that I really do not care about that is on it. I'm not sure if it's close to what the Petrie is. The Petrie just looks like it's a screw down kind of nut thing. This clamps in wires. I'll be able to show you when I go closer. But it says that it is biomedical grade zirconia ceramic. That sounds fancy as shit. That's number one reason to get it right there. 10 uniflow holes for cloud chasers. Come the fuck off. Well, I can use a light for that maybe. Yeah, see those holes at the very top of the top cap? Pretty nice. This thing's heavy. It just feels like though if you dropped it, it would shatter into a million pieces. Never had a ceramic RDA. But the base itself is ceramic. And it has a little bitty copper ring. I'm guessing that's what the 510 and the center post is made into. Because everything else, when you look down in it, there's an insulator piece that takes up most of the bottom of the juice well. And I guess that just separates it, and you can see looking in on that insulator that it is a complete solid copper piece, or probably not full copper, but copper coated. The pin on it is copper. Well, copper coated anyway. You can see the bottom flow holes there. It's really, really airy RDA. And when I first tried it on just a little parallel build that I threw in it, it is probably the best flavor RDA I have ever used. And I wouldn't lie to you about that. I've used Velocity, I've used just a ton of the RDAs that everybody says it can be a really good flavor one. But this is what I was talking about that I don't care much for. It has screw-in negative leads, but the positive post is just slotted. And this little bitty bastard screws down on top of it, so it just kind of sandwiches your connections more than it does make them connect, I guess. It does have a flathead slot on it so you can tighten the piss out of it, but I still don't care much for that. I would have liked it better if it would have been a pass-through with a grub nut in the top of it. But after you build on it a few times, it's not anything that's just too extreme to piss you off. But I'm going to pause this right now. I've got some Claptons made that I'm just going to shove in here. Oh, and that was another thing. The Clapton that was made was a single piece. So it was probably a wire about that long, probably 2 to 3 inches, and they had just cooled it 4 times on one side and skipped and cooled it 4 times on the other, and just laid the wire down in there and folded it to reach back around. I'm not doing that. That's hard as shit. I tried to do it with just single wire. I can make one, it's perfect, lay it down in there, but as soon as I try to coil it, it doesn't work, and I'm not good at pre-making them before I try to coil it. So I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to throw some Claptons in it. Just going to update this a minute. I got both of them laid in. You can see how I have to set one of them in there and it falls into the slot perfectly. But when I try to pre-clip my other lead, I end up having to put it in sideways. But you can maybe see how they're laid in there. I just laid one on top of the other. So now I'm going to screw this bastard cap on. I really just don't care much for this design. If I can just get it started. Okay, I can just drop the hell out of it. That'll work too. It's awesome. It's probably why it comes with a spare one. It's like, yeah, the second or third time you try to build on this son of a bitch, you're going to lose that little cap. So, fingernails would be amazing. Or I could have just built this on the table and not over my toolbox. It's got 1,000 fucking holes in it. Anyway, back to that. Yep, I bounced the damn lead out. Anyway, let me pause this again. I'm trying to keep it in focus and I can't do it. Chances are you already know this, but when you're building with a bottom flow RDA, always try to center the coil over the gap. Or not the damn gap, the hole. Shit. And this one's actually pretty easy to do that because the airflow at the bottom is wide ass open. And it really does have a very, very deep juice well. Now, I don't know specifics. I didn't look it up. I'm unprepared. Fuck it. But make sure that you center that and you have plenty of room for juice and cotton to go in. And then just make sure that your shit glows inside out. I'm going to pause again. I'm going to wick this and then I'll come back. Always use Scottish roll wicking. It takes a little bit more time. It's a little bit more cotton. So worth it. Especially if you drive and try to drip. I don't condone doing that. It's dangerous. Unless you got one of those fancy little windshield things and then you just look like you're fucking jacking off something that's in the sky. But on this one, it's a lot like a freak show and a tugboat. You just have your juice channels, stuff those bitches in there. Nice and tidy. Actually use a little bit of force because it's a fucker with Scottish roll wicking. But there we go. Got one in, creating the perfect hole over your airflow. It's nice to do. I think I do that in every RDA though. Not sure why. I don't know if it makes a difference. If you see this video and you actually watch it long enough to make it to that question, tell me if it makes a difference to leave a space underneath your coils like you would for bottom flow, airflow, even though it's not bottom. Oh, juicer up. I'm gonna use my baby. If you like donut flavor at all, go with this one. I've tried food fighters and all that other shit. It's not the same. This is seriously like eating a glazed donut. It's supposed to be a strawberry glazed donut. I don't pick up much of that because I'm not very fond of strawberry, but I do get a glazed donut flavor out of it. I absolutely love it. I recommend it to anybody. It is my go-to all-day vape. It's sad that I only have 30 mils of it at a time. I need to start ordering more than one. But I could never get tired of it. And if I was stricken with vapor's tongue and couldn't taste a single drop of this stuff, it would be like first world problems. I would make a Facebook status crying. It's alive. Just throw the cap on there. Another good thing about this airflow You don't have to line it up. And I'm not going to say it's good, carefree, that it's ceramic so you can't arc it. Don't get that shit in your head. That's terrible. Build the coils correctly. But let's see. I'm going to put it at 65 watts because it's probably not soaked in good enough yet. And I don't want to dry hit. Okay, it is soaked in. Once again, great flavor RDA. Be careful, because I just made the mistake that I try to tell everybody on bottom flow. Don't drop directly into the damn bottom airflow like I just did. It gets all over your hand. You don't want that shit. Even though it smells good, you don't want that shit. It just means you're wasting your juice. Oh, 10 inflow holes for cloud chaser. So I guess you can cloud chase out of this RDA. Maybe. Depends on how big your clouds are. I don't feel like getting into a pissing contest about that, because this isn't what I'm planning on using for any of the cloud comps that I get in. I always use a Doge or something else with humongous airflow, but this one's great. And that's at 100 watts. The coil build that I have in it, 0.30. So it's just a great RDA. If you're looking for another one to try out, I know I say I always go after just unique, and finding a ceramic RDA, I had to go with it. I'm sure this is a clone, being that it says made in China. I don't know who officially makes it. I probably greatly overpaid for it, but I wanted it because I saw it. So I guess I'm just the vape shop sucker. But I do recommend it to people that have a little bit of time to throw a build in it. And of course, everybody else that's probably done builds for a while can do it very easily. I can't. I wasn't used to that. That threw me off. But this video should end up being about 13 minutes long. Had I thrown the build process and everything in there, it'd be about 25 minutes long. So I'm not going to do that, because I'm sure I do not keep interest that long. But I was just going to show you another RDA to try out. You've probably seen reviews for it. I haven't looked around. I don't know how old it is. I don't know how new it is. But I liked it. So if you're just looking for one to try out, give the Cera a try. And I'll talk to you later.